This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster in My Podcast.
And this is the Dracolich.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Yeah, he's got a pineapple ring for an eye.
Delicious.
Yep.
But higher in calories than you think.
Yeah. It's evil. High calories and evil.
Mm.
That's why they make that sinful cow or whatever the name of that, like dessert brand of diuretics they make.
So this is false advertising because the image that we're seeing, that we're referring to, me old pineapple eye here, it is a kick-ass skeleton dragon. Which
I think it's kind of a dorky skeleton dragon. It's like dorky as a skeleton dragon can be.
Okay, but
look at
still,
his legs.
the floor of skeleton dragon, it might rest on dorky, but it's still pretty kick-ass because it's a skeleton dragon.
Still pretty cool.
I'm down for a skeleton dragon. Yeah. However, the majority, like that is a rarity. The majority of these are just dead-ass rotting dragons, like that are very recently dead. I've been sold a bill of goods, Gary.
You can also be excused for it. Like, I don't think there's an entry in this book that has more words that add up to less than the Dracolich. It's something that seems like it'd be really cool.
Right.
And part of it is because it's constantly referencing other things. It says like, oh, it has the powers of Lich. Oh, it has the powers of whatever kind of dragon it was.
Right.
So like next week on Dragon Week, we're going to get to those dragons and we'll be able to say what happens to them and everything. But for here, it's a lot of words about the specifics of making. It's like an instruction manual for creating one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something like out of the Book of Artifacts or Book of like Dire Magic. Yeah, that snuck its way in here because there's no hooks. There's really, other than like things that you already have for liches, like there's a Flacrity.
Right. And here it's just a gem. How does the spell know what the object is worth? Like, could the market fluctuate and all of a sudden, like, somebody opens up a new ruby mine and the price plummets? It's so
dumb. And then the item itself makes a saving throw. It's all this language like, if the ruby decides not to be a Dracolich. Yep. What are you talking about?
It saves as though it were a level 11 wizard.
Yeah, it's an emerald. Like it's just a rock, dog. Yeah. Like, this is just a geode. I'm just trying to.
It's a fucking cosmic accident, just like everything else. Come on.
I'm trying to make a Draco friend. The coolest hook in here, the one hook is that if sometime in the process, like it is too specific of a hook because it has to happen. Like the adventurers have to be on the scene when this thing is being created. Yeah. Somehow do one very specific spell, which is disintegrate the Draco Lich's body to where then it has to go into another lizard.
Right.
So theoretically, you could have like a cute little newt that is a Dracolich.
Right.
In the rules of this game. That's awesome.
Yeah. And what that feels like is almost like an alpha protocol. You do this side quest or you satisfy these particular conditions to fight the easier version of this boss fight.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Can you imagine how cool it'd be to have one of these, like this cult of the dragon or whatever, walking around with a newt on its shoulder, like a skeleton newt that had all the powers of a Dracolich? Like that's a good character right there.
But like it's not even that. They only stay as a proto Dracolich until they only stay as a proto Dracolich for 7 days.
Oh, but that's only when then they move into their body or whatever. If their body doesn't exist, they're trapped in that form.
Okay.
I don't think they morph.
There are a lot of words here.
It's a really confusing
they also have to devour at least 10% of their original body, to the point where if their body was burned or set on fire, they have to just eat 10%. They don't have to eat 10% of the ashes. They have to hope that there's enough ashes to add up to 10% of their pre-burning body mass.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's really weird. This book would have really benefited from having 20 authors instead of 70. Like, it's like, I don't expect one person to write all of this, but just the fact that it is so schizophrenically like in quality and in focus, is just really, really makes it a pretty unique book. The idea of like, putting your Dracolich into like a monitor lizard that is slowly devouring 10% of a rotting giant dragon.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too. Mm-hmm. Like there's little nuggets of coolness, but like it is the minimal viable coolness for like a Draco Lich.
Right. Two great things that are not great together.
No, like, I mean, I can't wait to get to Lich. I'm looking forward to Dragon Week, but like this is just not as good as I want it to be.
Yeah. Real bummer.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost nothing else to talk about with these fuckos.
No, because it's just a recipe is really what it is.
Yeah, and there's this like fun little, like, there's a really good chance that doing this spell kills the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a 10% chance it kills them, 20% it doesn't do anything, 30% chance it just hurts them real bad.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to make one of these things, but they don't adequately explain how they're better than dragons.
No.
And dragons live for a very long time. You know, so if the idea is just to make it immortal, like, come on, don't get greedy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was my biggest complaint, actually, was like every time it would go to say something about the ability, it would just say like, oh, well, okay, it's like the dragon. Yeah. Except it has all this undead stuff, you know, about controlling people or, you know, scaring them off. It really just is like, what if a dragon was a lich? What if Penny met a dinosaur, and also what if a dragon was a lich?
Yep. Boo.
Boo. Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.